Hello, friends. Welcome. In this little unusual title, I'm sure you already have idea about what gemstone remedies are, and then the fatalism in KP, which is whether everything is fixed, the destiny is fixed or not, and what are Professor Krishnamurti's views on the fatalism in the Krishnamurti Paddhati. Karma theory also you might be knowing what it is, and the Vedanga Jyotish. I'm sure that as an astrologer or as a Jyotishi, you might have come across this particular word, Vedanga Jyotish. Now, the only odd thing in this title is Andrew Dutta. So, I think let me first talk about Andrew Dutta, and then I'm going to connect all the dots. Now, for those who do not know about Dr. Andrew Datta, he is a popular KP astrologer, a popular name in the KP community, and his contribution to the KP community is appreciable. He has written many books, I guess, and he is also a practicing astrologer. Apart from that, he has a PhD in management, and he is also very widely traveled. But I came across a series of blog by Dr. Andrew Datta, where he seems to be taking a special stand in saying that Professor Krishnamurti believed in the gemstone and that the fate can be changed, and by wearing or doing puja or by wearing gemstone, things can be changed. And there are a few blogs that you can find on the internet, and there is one at least that I found where he clearly mentions that the astrologers within the KP community who think that Professor Krishnamurti didn't believe in the gemstone are wrong, and he has mentioned about this article by Krishnamurti's son, and this particular article you can find in one of the Krishnamurti readers. And I have also seen a couple of places where Professor Krishnamurti has mentioned about or recommended some puja related to Ganpati, his Ishta. But why Dr. Andrew Datta has to specially keep on saying about that Professor Krishnamurti did believe in the gemstones. So let's see why. Now it turns out that Dr. Datta also offers gemstone remedy, and from this post you can see that he hails from a family that has a very long and traditional knowledge about the gemstone. And he has mentioned this the Garbhanal method of gem prescription revealed from 219-year-old astrology family of Dr. Datta. So he hails from a family where they had a good knowledge about the gemstones, and Dr. Datta himself is offering these services. He mentioned that learn to read karma, karmic burdens, and curses in horoscope and change them by giving correct gems. So now let's see what Professor Krishnamurti has to actually say about the gemstones, wearing the gemstones, or doing puja. There are a lot of places in his various readers where he has expressed, Professor Krishnamurti has expressed his very clear thoughts about his views on gemstones and doing puja and those kind of things. So let's take a look at that. Now, these are a couple of quotes that I was able to find in the KP readers. And as a KP astrologer, if you are a KP student or a user or even interested in KP, I think it's very important for you to know what Professor Krishnamurti's views were on the gemstone therapy and whether the fate can be changed or not. And Professor Krishnamurti had a very strong view, and on these things. And let me read out from his quote. One cannot, he writes that one cannot change fate and things happen according to the timing indicated by the planet and not desired by the person. Lucky act at a good time, unlucky will transact during unlucky time, even if astrologer gives lucky time. And at another place, he mentioned that now also I say that karma comes first, God comes next. Very important where he's saying this. That as I had already emphatically published in my book, now also I say karma comes first, God comes next. None can dodge fate, none can hoodwink destiny, none can bribe the god or goddess or planet. The nature is divine, the nature's divine plan will go on unchanged. So, at another place, look what he's saying. The fact is this, and this is very important, where he says, whether one blesses or not, prays or not, puts on a gem or not, things will and must happen according to one's fate. So, and there are other places where Krishnamurti ji has expressed his views on the similar line. And these are very strong words and a kind of a black and white views of the professor, where he says that things cannot be changed, whether a person puts a gemstone or whether a person is doing any puja or not doing any puja, it doesn't matter. The fate cannot be changed. So now this kind of a very strong opinion coming from the founder of the Krishnamurti Paddhati, now it creates a strange kind of dilemma in the mind of many KP astrologers, especially when it comes to offering some kind of a remedy, whether it's a puja or a gemstone or the mantra. And on one side, they have this opinion from Krishnamurti ji, and on the second side, they have to offer something, some gemstone or something. So this creates some confusion in the mind of the astrologer. So when I have been reading about Krishnamurti ji's views on this, and every time I come across these kind of strong worded views, and I always think why somebody didn't ask or add some more to what uh, Professor Krishnamurti has to mention. So I'm going to add from my side. Now, when Krishnamurti says that everything is fixed and one cannot change the fate, one cannot change the plan of the destiny. And see, here is mentioned. Here he is already mentioning the nature's divine plan will go on unchanged. So now what happens is that only if you are destined, you can then easily inference. You can draw an inference from this that only if you are destined to read or follow KP, you will, else you will not. Or only if you are just trying to offer right prediction, even if you are a scholar in Krishnamurti Paddhati, you might have invested many years, and but only if the nature plan is like that, and if we are only if you are just trying to offer right prediction, you will be able to offer the right prediction. Otherwise, you will not be able to offer the right prediction. So these kind of questions I added from my side in the light of what Professor Krishnamurti had to say. So now you see these additional inferences, they create some additional confusion on the part of the astrologer, that whether to think about the perpetual question of the fate, free will, destiny, whether things are 100% fixed, or can it be changed, or both type of things are there. Few things are fixed, few things are not fixed. So obviously, when you start thinking about all these things, and then this will lead you to the the karma theory. So let's take a look at the karma theory also. So I made a search on the Google on the karma theory, and I came across hundreds of articles and videos explaining the karma theory. But I deliberately uh, chose this video from Pandit Sanjay Rath, because he is also a very senior astrologer. He's a known astrologer. So I thought that I will rather use Sanjay Rath's video, and he has 3 or 4 or 5 a series of videos uh, on the karma theory. And if you are already, many of you might already be aware of these terms like the Sanchit and the Prarabdha and then the Kriyaman. It basically divides the karma into 3 categories, and in some of the videos or in some of the articles there might be additional categories like agami and maybe some more. The idea is that the how to accommodate the fate and free will, the both things. And for that there is some part of the karma that a person has the freedom to do, and there is then the prarabdha karma, where there is no freedom. It's a part of the destiny, and that one has to undergo. And one of the examples that I keep on getting is about this cow. Now, if you look at this cow, this is tied on a leash, and so this cow has a freedom to move, and but at the same time, the cow is also tied to a leash. So it's like the prarabdha karma has tied up this cow, but at the same time there is a freedom to move within a defined perimeter. So this the gray circle that you see over here is a very defined perimeter within which the freedom to do karma is allowed. And but what is important in this definition is by this Sanjay Rath is uh, this particular point where he says that Jeev means you, Jeev means the person. A Jeev cannot attain moksha until the accumulated, that is the sanchit karma, is exhausted. So now let's look at how these sanchit karma can be exhausted, or can they be exhausted at all or not. So let's take a look at that too. Now let's take a look of some scenarios in the light of the the sanchit karma, the prarabdha, that's a destiny, and the kriyaman. If you look at the very first scenario, where person A is killing person B. And obviously, when an act is being done, nobody knows whether this act is being done because of the some sanchit karma from the previous birth, or this just happening in this birth only, and it's going to become a part of the destiny for the next birth. So in this first scenario, we don't know whether this person A, when he's killing person B, is he exhausting a part of his sanchit karma from the previous birth. If you look at the scenario 2, this scenario, and here then the question comes that the person A is killing person B is creating a sanchit karma that need to be exhausted. Either it's going to get exhausted in this life, which means the person B is going to kill person A, or it's going to get carried on for the next life, where now person B is going to uh, avenge this killing. Then the popular where the both they try to reconcile the freedom to act as well as the perimeter from within one can act. The idea is that a person has some freedom to do the karma, and that will not become a part of their sanchit karma. So now if person A is doing the same bad act, but within the perimeter, within the defined perimeter of being able to exercise the free karma thing. Okay, so we don't know whether it's really a freedom to do something, or it's going to add on to the sanchit karma for the next life. And now here, if you look at these two guys, are they creating a karma for each of them? This person is going to create the a karma which is going to be a part of the sanchit karma, and it's going to be exhausted in some next birth, and same is with the person B also. So we don't know whether it's going to be a part of the sanchit karma, or if you look at this particular scenario, so are these two persons killing each other, are they trying to exhaust the accumulated karma from the previous birth? So all these confusions are there, because the bottom line is that a bottom line is this, and this you will find common across almost all the articles on the karma theory, that the jeev cannot attain moksha until the accumulated sanchit karma is exhausted. And when you start thinking about any karma in life, whether it is good or bad, it doesn't matter. Then you really don't know that whether it is being driven by some karma that you did in the previous life, or are you creating a new karma that's going to come back to you in the next life. See, you have to remember one thing, that the good karma is not a guarantee uh, for the liberation. The good karma is going to give you good results, but bad karma and good karma both brings a person back to the cycle of birth and death. So even if you are doing a good karma, it is not a guarantee for any kind of a liberation. Bad karma and the good karma, they have nothing to do with the liberation. The karma is a very different and very complex kind of uh, a theory, and it's not. It takes some personal pondering, some personal thoughts on the complexity of the karma theory. So now in the astrology also, there, especially in the our Bharati Jyotish, there are theories about how to distinguish between whether one particular karma is coming from the previous birth, or whether it's going to be the karma that's a new karma and that will have repercussions in the next birth. So let's look at some of these methods in the Jyotish. You'll find many resources and videos on the way to segregate a karma, whether it is coming from the previous birth or whether it's a new karma. And for that, most of the time, these houses, the first house, the fifth house, and then the ninth and the eighth, and sometimes I've even seen 12th. So all these houses are taken into consideration. And then on top of it, you have all these divisional charts from D1 to D60. So it's a very chaotic situation. I mean, by going through all these theories, and many of these theories are very contradictory. Somebody is saying something, other is contradicting it. I mean, there is no definite pattern that emerges out of these various videos and articles in the Jyotish world discussing about the nature of the karma, whether it's coming from the previous birth or whether it's a new karma. So these kind of the videos, where they have the karma overview, these are, I would just say, these are for information purpose only. They are very academic in nature and they are not going to help you. If you start questioning the nature of any karma, these kind of videos and articles will not go too far. They will not help you at all. And personally, when I think about all these things, and I've been thinking about karma for a long period of time, and one of the books that I would like to recommend, that you should definitely find and go through it, is the Yoga Vashisht. I like this book very much, and this is a dialogue between the Shri Ram and the Guru Vashisht. And in some places, Shri Ram is asking about the questions on the fate and the free will. I mean, these are so touching passages, and you can see the kind of deep confusion Shri Ram has about the nature of time, the cycle of birth and death, and the destiny, and the whole karma cycle. And this is a very touching passage. It's not very long, and but these dialogues are very nice. They have no definite answer because the question itself is so serious. The question itself is so serious. Many people think that many of these old texts, they have answered. They not all the time they have answered. Sometimes, they are just trying to point out the seriousness of the question itself. The question itself, when it starts hitting you hard, then the answer will automatically appear. So Rishi Vasisht is not giving any answer, but the whole discussion is, I would definitely recommend that if you find this book or the PDF, you should go through it. And now finally, let me come to the last point of this video, that's about the Vedanga Jyotish. Now I've mentioned about this particular word, Vedanga Jyotish, in some of my previous videos as well, and I like this word very much. And usually people say that Jyotish is a part of Veda. I mean, that's just an academic kind of explanation about this particular word. But I think the when you are studying Jyotish and when you look at so many horoscopes, Then all these questions about the birth and the death and the destiny, the karma, fate, free will, you have to start thinking about these questions. That is why you have become an astrologer or a Jyotishi, not just for looking at the horoscope of the other person, but this is your personal journey as well. And as an astrologer, you are very much suited to ask these questions about the birth and the death and the destiny, karma, fate, and free will. Obviously, when I am looking at some horoscope, then I am also recommending some a gemstone or a mantra. But in the back of my mind, these questions are always there about the fate and the free will. And one thing that I have uh, personally believed is that Jyotish itself, the astrology itself, will not help you to find any definite answer to these questions. Jyotish is only a platform where it can enhance your curiosity about thinking about these questions. And Vedang for me, personally, Vedang for me means a person is now in a state of mind ready to go beyond the academic or the bookish things and even ready to go beyond the Jyotish. Somebody who is ready to explore the new frontiers for finding or exploring answers to the fundamental questions about the birth, death, destiny, karma, fate, and free will. And when you start that journey, at some point you will be thankful that you got into astrology, you got into Jyotish, and where all these questions started confronting you. So that's all in this video. Thanks for watching.